Fresh veggies.
People always talking about they don't know what they talking about. Be so quick to get upset, blow their top and run their mouth. People always talking but they do it when you're not around. Crickets chirping to you about the not a sound. People always talking but they don't know what they talking about. Be so quick to get upset, blow their top and run their mouth. People always talking but they do it when you're not around. Crickets chirping to you about the not a sound. People always talking about what about? Know me more than me, let me find out. Speaking on things that I done did, like they my parents and not a kid. Live your life, I live my own. Since the age of 3, I've been grown. Right or wrong, my choice to decide. If I wanna drive, I wanna ride. You can't always believe the things you've been told. Sometimes you just gotta learn to let go. Do not speak if you do not know. Sing good vibes, you reap what you sow. Me to me, you to you. Nobody's perfect, think just into. We all fall down, some get back up. Stay out my juice, you got your own cup. Either way it goes, I'm gonna thrive. No time for stress, only songs to vibe. I'ma let it go, you should too. Forgiveness for me and not for you. People always talking but they don't know what they talking about. Be so quick to get upset, blow their top and run their mouth. People always talking but they do it when you're not around. Crickets chirping to you about the not a sound. People always talking but they don't know what they talking about. Be so quick.
You're not my man. You're not my man. You're a genius.
What are we in a washing machine?
Yeah, it sounds like we're in a fucking washing machine. Oh shit, shades. Hold on. Let me fix my camera. There we go. We can see things. Everybody, sound check. Everybody can hear me. A cat.
Yeah.
Yo, I can hear you.
Nice and loud. That's what I like to hear. Walko, someone louder than you for once. It's fantastic.
Right.
All right.
I'm gonna talk. Oh my god, no. I'm sorry.
Everybody's going down now. There we go. All right. All right. Let me just make sure my recordings are up. My shit's lagging a little bit. It's pulsing a little bit. All right. All right. Cool. You guys all good to go?
I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. What's good, man? We appreciate you hopping on. My fault I didn't send a follow up because we've just been, we put out a lot of shit all day. We're getting our ass kicked on a regular basis. But we appreciate you jumping on. I'm John D. Contradiction. My man rocking that sexy Not Your Man's red shirt is M. You can get it on our website. We got Walko down here with the fuckboy haircut, but do not be fooled. He is a married man with child. He is a good guy. All right, but introduce yourself, sir.
What's up, man? Kappa Carter, Prattville, Alabama. Grow house, fresh veggies is the creed.
Okay, I like that. Also, because I like fresh veggies just in general, organic of that sort. But
oh yeah.
All right, man. Yo, thanks for coming and chopping it up with us on the show. So I know you've seen the page. I mean, you've got some reviews for us. Before we kick into all of our rapidy rap questions and us harassing you and whatnot, what do you think of the page?
Man, I dig it, man. You guys give some pretty honest interviews, man. Even to the guys that everybody sucks up to. I've seen some pretty harsh ones. I think the Grow Light interview was I think that hurt my feelings more than anything else. But at the same time, you guys did a really good job putting it together, and even if it's a bad interview or even if it's a bad review, people will still listen to it. People are still giving it good reviews. I think it all depends on the region. Southern rap and rap from the Bronx is not necessarily the same sound per se. Okay. But we all have acquired tastes, and we all have our certain what we like and what we don't like.
We got our fair share of ears. I mean, I get that. But honestly, and it's the reality is, like, what we do as far as for the page, our goal is to just keep it as, like, because we do everything one listen. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to do the whole, like, favoritism thing, like, oh, because this person's famous, we got to give him a 1,000-hour listen to be like, this is a classic, even though you didn't like it the first listen type bullshit. But even if it's, like, regular stuff, we think that everybody as an artist deserves to be heard at least once. So for the amount of detail we put into the reviews, it's all based off of a one-time listen, because if you're gonna listen to, like, for example, if someone shoots you an underground artist, right? And we all know that feeling. There's always a difference between, like, oh, this guy's popping, or someone's like, yo, listen to this dude. This is my friend who raps. You want, at that first listen, you want to be like, all right, this just moved me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's hard to get in that mind state unless the music fucking jumps out. You know what I'm saying? So we try to keep it like that, but we also try to balance the line between, if it's something that's dope, we'll give you your credit. You know, we'll do that. But if it's something we didn't like, we also add a little bit of spice to it, because if someone just reads a review like, this is mediocre, that we don't like this too much, no one's going to listen to it. But if we throw some funny shit, they're like, oh, I want to hear this funny shit. If it's that bad or blah, 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 you'll get your spins, more spins, if anything. That, like, people, you know what I'm saying? You'll get more spins than anything. And it's kind of like it's like a press thing, because, like, the press doesn't give a fuck. They'll make up a lie about someone and fucking beat you to death with it. And it's like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. So it's like, if you get your music reviewed as a bad look, you have the power to use that to your advantage. You could be like, hey, my people, did you guys think it was that bad? Your people could give it a re-listen. Your people could do this. If you have engineers and we say the mixing is trash, you throw it to your engineer, and they're like, man, this dude said this doesn't sound good. They hear it. They're like, oh, maybe it doesn't sound good. Maybe the next thing they work on, they could fix it. This, that, and a fifth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it is what it is, you know? But
as a whole.
Oh, yeah. And you know, the first review did, you know, I enjoyed the read just because it said, you know, the beats weren't working for me, but that I still could rap. So it's like, I'm not too butthurt about that, just because I made my own beats and I was still kind of like a novice producer at the time. So it's kind of like I've been a poet my whole life. I've been a songwriter my whole life. So I knew that was going to get some type of praise. You know. Yeah. You know, it is what it is, though, man. You know, it was a good, honest review, and I could tell that it was actually listened to, and I think that it was OG Trey.
Yeah. OG Gray. Okay. Yeah. He's another artist. Most of us are like artists or someone involved, but yeah, Squeegee O. He's an artist as well. He's a rapper as well. So he gave it a good ear. And
see, yeah, exactly. I could tell that I could tell he actually sat down and listened to it, and I like that you guys break it down bit for bit as far as like production, engineering, lyrical ability, delivery, stuff like that.
Yeah, we try to piece it together. You know, like we don't want to be too overbearing with it, but we want to make sure you can get that. Like you could read into the review and be like, all right, you know, they picked this out too. Because this one, when we did talk about it on the episode, because usually we run through everything that's reviewed and we talk about it on that Sunday after it drops. We talked about this too, and I was like, yeah, I can spot a poet any day. Like I can spot someone who actually has a good pen. But that's, you know what I'm saying. In the music world, we all know the reality is like things have to completely come together. There's so many factors. You know what I'm saying? There's so many factors. So. And it's like, again, no shade to you. Like I put out music too. I put out some shit. Like I could even send you shit if you want to cook my stuff. I don't care. Like I take it, but it's just, we keep it real. That's what we need. We need that honesty amongst other. You know what I'm saying? Like
keep buck. Keep it a.
Yeah, you got to keep it a buck, because like I know you say, but that's the thing. I know you say that like the regions, things and stuff like that matter, but the way we take on the music too, we do have some people on ours who don't like the bass sound. We'll single that out. Hates the bass sound, which is funny to me. But most of us on the roster of reviewers, we just take the music as like, if it's something like off rip and it's like, all right, this person is not trying to give us lyrical content, let's hopefully review this based on like, maybe the music's catchy enough for me to nod my head, maybe it's this, maybe it's got hooks, maybe it's that, and we try to kind of like keep it in a box, because it's hard. Music is subjective, so it's like we try to do it like that. So it doesn't matter like where it's from, because I know you mentioned, you know, it'd probably be different ears for Alabama, but we've reviewed some cats from where you from that got green checks. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like,
oh yeah. Especially Yeezy's World.
Yeah, Yeezy's World got it. Walko did that one. That was a long project.
Yes, he's a really good guy, and he's actually the one that actually got me turned on to notyamanz in the first place. So
nice. Salute to him.
And he turned on a lot. I would say he turned on a lot of artists.
I think all the artists that from that your area came from him, because he was blasting us for a minute. Oh yeah, which is also it's a fun thing amongst peers, you know.
And he's also a really good artist too, you know. So I didn't have a doubt in my mind that he would end up getting a green check anyway. Yeah. But me, I was kind of like, With my first album that I gave you guys, that was my fourth project.
Okay.
And this was after a name change and a sound change and content change. Everything pretty much just changed.
Mm.
So, basically, I just I knew it was going to get at least an orange stamp, but the red stamp kind of surprised me. But after I read the review, I was just like, oh, okay, well, I can see why he gave it a red stamp. He wasn't feeling the production.
Yeah. And honestly though, OG too. OG, if like knowing OG Gray, like knowing his stuff, his music, he's very boom bap heavy too. So like, if he gave this,
okay, so
credit,
yeah, that wasn't in my album at all. My album had like it was a woke message, but a trap.
I know it was
sound.
super. Yeah, it was a super new age sound. But see,
yeah,
what happened?
You said I hate drums and triple time, so you pissed me off already.
Facts. He hates trap. But see, then now we're gonna talk about. So I did the project after that. So bringing to that project, Grow Light.
Oh yeah. You said something about putting all of the elements into a garbage can and rolling it down a hill.
Dude, so
oh man,
it's rough.
It's rough. My heart sunk for a minute, and my buddy who did the album with me, he was kind of like, he kind of looked at me and he was like, "You all right, man?" I was like, man, "If you read this review, you're not going to be."
But see, the thing is, if you go through the review though, like, there were some cool sounds in there. It was like a lot of stuff. Like, I heard you guys mixing a lot of things. I heard different genres. I heard different sounds. I heard a lot of cool elements that, in theory, no one would think would come together. That I was like, man, maybe this could work. But then it's like, then you had some solid content. And I'm like, all right, this dude's writing some shit that I'm like, yo, this is relatable stuff. But I was like, this auto-tune is fucking me up. Like, I hate this fucking auto-tune. And then the mixing, it felt like someone started mixing it and was just like, nah, this is it. And it wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like, this mixing fucked it all up. So, like, all those sounds that I heard, it was like they just didn't come together the way they were supposed to. And they should have.
Right. And see, the sound that we're going for is still a work in progress. You know, it's always a work in progress. There's always room to improve somewhere.
Yeah.
So, you know, in future projects, but we've also gotten a lot of praise from this album,
which
especially
is good. Yeah,
locally.
Hell yeah, salute to that. Yeah, salute to that, man.
And the biggest thing that we want to do with that project and future projects come is to push that same message, just deliver it in a way that it will inspire people or encourage people, because there's a lot of shit going on in our world that is very destructive and everybody's all self-absorbed. You know, we in this world today, it's time for people to wake up and come together, because there's so much division, especially in the news media. Everybody's
it's fucked up.
All the news media is hyping up this race propaganda, and it's all bullshit, man. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what color you are or what creed you preach. We all come from the same God, you know. So it's you know,
fact, science.
Kind of like what Macklemore said, you know, back when he did what you said. What was that song? Same love.
Yeah.
He said it doesn't matter what God you believe in. We all come from the same one, and you know, you couldn't be more right about it. You know.
Nah, but yeah, and that's a very real thing. Like, I do appreciate, like, because there's such thing as like music like that, like a lot of music like that, the enjoy now, listen later type music is cool too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I rock with that. And a lot of times, like, stuff like that, like, to me, I like shit like that when it's like, yo, this is such a mood. I don't know what the mood is right away, but I know that I'm vibing. And then later when you start to put together what's actually going on, it's like, oh, shit. That's how Cuddy hit me back in the day. Cuddy was just bro, I don't know what he's saying, but I know this nigga's sad, and I'm sad too. And then when you start to listen to how sad he is, you're like, yo, that's me. Like, this is my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Facts.
Exactly.
But, yeah, see, man, yo,
that's just it, man. Everybody has a fucking struggle, man. Everybody has something that they go through inside, and that's what that whole project was about, man. It's like, not only is it about pain and hurt, it's also about coming back from that, bouncing back from that, having faith in yourself. Like belief in yourself is the most important thing, because even if nobody else believes in you, you will succeed if you continue to believe in yourself, because that perception will start to arise in other people who doubted you before or didn't know who you were to begin with. If they see that you've got that shine in yourself and you believe that you can do it, you can do it. It's like believe and achieve.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
But see, that's what's dangerous in this world too, though. You got that energy. There's some dumbass people that's not going to be like, oh, I believe in myself. They're just going to be like, oh, I believe in you, so I need you to guide me. And that's where things are fucked up. Because people need to just believe in themselves. It's fucked up like that. Right,
and that's the mission that we have. Really, the group, the duo between me and Shaman P is Grow Light. And the message that we preach is to unify and believe in yourself and build off of each other. Like there's... It's like having unity is you pick up a partner when they're down and they pick you up when you're down. Or if you don't have something that they can provide for you and they provide it, then reciprocate whenever they're down and they need something that you have that you can offer them. Everything is so money driven nowadays that people are just greedy and stingy, and there's information and knowledge and certain avenues that are out there that so few people know about, and they shell out hundreds of thousands of dollars
for like what? It's like for nothing.
Just to do some shit that they could do themselves.
Yeah.
Having those avenues, like people even charge for that information. And it's like nothing in this world is free, but the only thing more valuable than anything in this world is time, because time is the only thing that you can't get back.
Facts. Unless you're out here drinking, kids' blood like them Illuminati motherfuckers.
That unicorn blood.
Facts. That one unicorn that they're still just draining and feeding. But that's real shit though.
We didn't know you were running for office.
Yeah, the music hall of fame is what I'm running for.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Chase it. Yo, real talk though. So we're gonna go back to Grow Light. Real talk though, like just on a like artist to artist tip, like real shit. There's a few songs on here. Now the songs that I put the sleep emoji. If I try, just give this a try. If you want to or not, give this a try for me. Shoot this to someone else to try the mixing and mastering.
Okay.
Try to get those, maybe just those songs, and get a remaster. And you can shoot it my way or anything like that. I'm telling you, there's those songs specifically. The reason, because we have like a ranking system, obviously with the emojis. Those ones were so close, but it's like something was missing. You know what I'm saying? That brought me like. This is one of those, we review a lot of projects that I'm just like, dude, with a remaster. Like there was this other cat, I forgot his name, Russ or something, not Russ, but something like that. And I was like, bro, if this gets remastered, you have something going. Because if someone's rapping about nothing and I don't like the mixing and mastering, I'll be like, all right, you could throw that whole out. But for people who say something that I'm like, all right, this is something people can hold on to, and it's just like, I need it to come across a little bit clearer. And sometimes like with autotune, because autotune people forget it's an instrument, and if you overdo it, you're overdoing an instrument. It's like having a loud instrument over some vocals. You're not necessarily going to focus on the actual vocals.
Nobody wants to hear 30 minutes of sousaphones.
It's starting to sound like some Imogen Heap type shit, right?
Yeah. So, in fact, something like that. Like I'm telling you, give this a clear blank listen. Try and no disrespect to whoever mixed and master, if you and your boy, whatever. But look for someone who.
It was totally me.
There you go. Look for someone like, even if you need someone.
Get together.
Even if you need someone, like I could shoot someone your way. Listen to people who like can give you a portfolio of something that sounds, something that you could turn on the radio and be like, all right, this quality, this guy can make this quality. If you can do something that sounds like that, and get someone who can mix and master like that, I guarantee you, not only will it be worth the investment, this being re-released with a remaster, your message will get across clearer than just the music in general.
Okay.
So it's worth a shot. Take like your favorite 3 or 4 songs off of this and be like, all right, these ones right here, I want to get this remixed and mastered, and let's see what people think of this. You can also fan check people. You could put this out as an EP. So people are like, oh, I'm fans. You'd be like, bro, that already came out. You should have heard that already. Then you could know who's lying. But also,
Always lying.
Yeah, because people lie. It is what it is. Like the second you say you're an artist, there's like a switch. It's like a meter. It's like, oh, I rap, and it's like I'm gonna be like, oh, that's cool, right. Or why do you do that? And do you have a regular job? You know what I'm saying? There's always that. There's always that switch.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And it's very hard to gasp that.
I get that. I get that so often too. Like pretty much everybody around my local area knows that I'm a music artist. But at the same time, those that have heard of me and then they meet me, they're like, "Well, do you do this for a living?" And then you're kind of like stuck. Like, well, what is my answer going to do to your perception? You know?
Yeah.
Like, there are a lot of big time artists out there that still have regular jobs.
Yeah.
Because the digital age has just completely stomped on the way music is marketed. So now they have to go through so many different avenues just to make a buck on their music. And if they're not investing hundreds of dollars into, or even thousands of dollars into recording, mixing, mastering, promotion, distribution, it's pretty much nil as far as, what you do to make your living.
Yeah.
And, there are a lot of artists out there who make music that are well known in their music, but they're also entrepreneurs. Just look at Jay-Z. Yeah. He's not just a rapper. He also has his own clothing line.
As much as we hate Jay-Z, I do respect his hustle.
Well, exactly. I'm not a big fan of Jay-Z either, but he is the youngest black billionaire to exist. Yeah. So that's you gotta respect his hustle, man. And I'm not really too fond of Kanye West either, but you gotta respect the way he promotes himself.
It's terrible, but I do respect it.
And you see now,
it's not that he is doing what he's doing. It's the fact that he is doing it just to get people talking about it.
And it works.
And it works. And he's very successful at that.
Controversial.
I like Kanye West a lot better as a producer than I do as an artist or as a rapper. Just because he's all right, but at the same time he's real cocky, he's real showy.
Yeah.
But see, that's he's a way better producer, man. After Through the Wire, I just kind of gave up on him.
Kanye has some shit though. That's the thing with me. I have a weird, like, as much as Kanye, he can be whatever. He can have ghostwriters. He can do this, that, and the fifth. There is certain levels of Kanye that, like, Kanye has 3 releases that I can never ever let go of. Actually, not even just 3, 2 specifically that I can't let go of. And it's because they're the complete package. As much as I want to be like, oh, well, Kanye's not really a rapper, there are some of my favorite artists who haven't given me these 2 albums. You know what I'm saying? His first fucking album and the fucking Twisted Dark, whatever, that long ass name.
My Dark Twisted
Fantasy. There we go. Those 2 albums are, to me, timeless. Like, that's our Beatles. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's our fucking Pink Floyd. That's our The Wall. Like, people like The Wall, even though I think, there's better fucking albums, like Animals and
better analogies.
No, I was gonna say better albums, but yeah, like that's
albums.
our fucking like timeless music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy to me, but like those 2 albums, I'm like, hip hop. That's not even hip hop anymore. That's how that like those 2 albums have ascended. Like, the other day I listened to fucking Dropout, and I'm like, fuck, what happened to this Kanye?
I'm not even gonna lie, man. I think my biggest influences in the hip hop genre, because I come from a long history of different music genres. Like, I first started out playing in a metal band as a drummer.
Nice.
And I've gone through a whole.
Hey, you played actual drums, and you out here using these fake ass trap drums, man. You ain't doing boom bap with real drums.
I'm telling you, man, for real drums, and I'm talking like heavy drums, like Joey Jordison heavy.
Okay, but still, imagine them heavy drums on some boom bap. There's nothing wrong with that.
Already, and it's coming. Don't get me wrong. This is just like the tip of the iceberg as far as like how deep this music goes for me and my partners.
Yeah.
But I would say, it's very hard to find an album from the hip hop genre that I can really sit and listen to front to back without skipping a song or saying, this one was okay. Like, I would say, let's say Slipknot's first album, I could listen to that front to back,
classic,
over and over.
That's a fucking classic,
no problem. In the hip hop genre, my biggest influences are the Cats and Strange Music, Tech Nine, Ritz the Rapper,
I hate
OB,
Ritz.
OB.
Man, I hate to say this, dog, but you're hitting all the white rapper check marks.
I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I don't relate to Ritz in a way, and I do. I relate to him in a lot of ways. So he hits me personally in a lot of ways.
Who, Ritz?
So that, you know,
like Hobson?
well, yeah, Hobson's good. He's a good rapper, but he's so fucking whiny, baby.
How you feel about?
Wait, hold on, wait. Before we you said Ritz. You relate to Ritz a lot and all that stuff. Like you rock with Ritz.
Yeah, well, in his message, his story, you know, I can relate. A lot of his elements in his backstory kind of fall into where I'm at.
I have like a weird thing where I personally don't like Ritz, but like it's because I don't know. It's something I'm very picky because I've been a writer my whole life, and I get very picky when people do certain things. Like certain people have rappers have certain ticks that they do, and it's like certain filler words that to me kind of shows where their limit is, and his tick specifically is him saying motherfucker in a black tone, so he always like something motherfucker, and and that's his tick. He does it all the time,
I get what you're saying,
and I hate it. So I never unhear it. But I also have a weird thing with him. He played a show on Long Island. A couple of my boys were playing the show, and he came to the show, didn't interact with anybody, kicked everyone out of the back room, even the artists who were allowed to be back there who were performed, and then left. So I was high-key tight about that. I'm like, don't Hollywood us at a very personal venue. Like, KRS-One played here and fucking showed love to everybody, including the openers. And, like, this guy came and Hollywooded the shit out of us at, like, our venue. Like, we could have locked that venue down and ran his whole team's pockets.
So it's one of those things where a lot of people just forget where they came from once they made it.
Yeah.
You know, like...
It's white people money, that's why.
Yo, I remember that. I remember watching that come up because I always liked Tech Nine, but I remember when he really started to blow up, and I used to always try to catch him when he would do like his yearly trip. Usually, I'd catch him in Jersey or I'd catch him in the city, and it was always like, bro, I get it, Tech Nine's nice, but I get that he had to fucking appeal to juggalos. Because you'd go to the show, it's 50-50. It's 50-50.
Look, the album that I can listen to from cover to cover without any kind of, you know, like, oh, this song's alright, you know, I can deal without this. I liked Ever Ready, man. Like that was the one that really turned me on to Tech Nine.
Fire. Ever Ready was fire. I was Psychology 101 was my favorite.
The first Tech Nine song I ever heard was Caribou Lou, and I'm like, okay, go to the top of this album and let's listen to this from top to bottom. And I'm just like, that made me a fanatic, man. That made me a Tech Nine fan.
Psychology 101 really put me onto him because I always heard of him before, but Psychology 101 really got me into him because he hit so many sounds on that. But he also had like fucking, you know, he had Midwest Choppers Part 1 and 2 on there, and I was like, word, you know.
Years.
What happened?
Tech Nine's like 30 years.
Forever. You know what's crazy? People forget that, like,
you know, Nicki Minaj was actually on Ever Ready in Jellysicle.
Yep. And
she was the one that was like, she was the one in the background working like a trick, bitch. You know, that was Nicki Minaj.
Came up off it, and like Hobson like was like a nobody when he featured with Tech. Kendrick Lamar was just making a big buzz when he featured with Tech. Like this is back when these dudes was nobodies. Like mad people featured with Tech before they like just skyrocketed. Which is cool because if you could hit that peak in the underground level, that's kind of like the peak of it, and then that's where you get to make the choice of like, I'm gonna go full mainstream. So like, why not?
You either go full mainstream at that point, and make
or you
radio
stay music, right there,
or you just live on the tour circuit.
Yeah. So hitting on some other influences of mine that actually have songs with Tech Nine. Prof, fucking love Prof.
Prof's fire. I fuck with Prof because he's so weird.
Prof is fire. Decca's fire. Aesop Rock. Fucking love it, man. Those guys are lyrical. Those guys are lyrical bombshells, man. Like
how you
every single
all these
one of those guys
stuff and use all this auto tune? What are you doing to me right now, man? What are you doing to me right now? You got all these lyrical people. You never heard Aesop Rock use no auto tune like that? Come on.
Right. Yeah, you're right about that. Really, I'll be honest with you, man. the auto-tune was more or less just trying to appeal to a younger crowd.
Okay. I get that. I get that. I hate that, but I get that. Because that's what
don't get me wrong. Like, I fucking hate auto-tune as well. But
then don't use
like we're trying to hit the youngsters that think it's okay to do the type of shit that Black Youngster talks about, that fucking Travis Scott talks about. Like, all these guys are just pill popping.
Yeah.
No.
And they're not trap stars, man. They're just young cats that came up listening to what we know is trap music before trap music was even popular. It was like T.I., fucking 504 Boys, shit like that. Yeah. And even that wasn't as horrible as what's coming out nowadays. Like, what's coming out nowadays is just destructive garbage.
Yeah.
But
see, the thing is, I get that that's the market too, but like, you gotta think of it like this. Like, which appealing to some of the young ass dumb kids is one thing, but like, do you really want to appeal to a lot of the dumb ass young kids that are falling that are drinking the Kool-Aid? You know what I'm saying? Like the sheep ones.
No.
Because there's that market. Like, when people say they want to appeal to that, like, I get that, but NF had the #1 album for the last few weeks. NF's not doing that. He's rapping about his heart.
That's emotional.
He's rapping about his feels, and he is rapping. So it's like, do you really want to do that? Every time J. Cole drop, it bangs. When I think of that regular market,
stoop to their level.
Yeah, because I think that market. That's the market of the. So I've been in the music game for a long time. So that music, that media machine, that market, that poisonous market is the filler, and people forget that. That's all we have until those greats drop. That's why when those greats drop, it's #1, period, because the machine can't beat that. The machine, no matter how bullshit the machine can be, it's not gonna beat that real artistry, that real fucking music that we actually want. And the beauty of it is, there's so much of that new age young kid stuff that it's now the norm. It's now not normal. Like, it's now more appealing to not sound like the norm. We're starting to hit that gap because now people don't want to hear just the same. Because now we passed that hump of like, oh my God, another auto-tune, singy, trap rap. Like, so now it's like, now that honest music is starting to slowly make a comeback.
Right. And it is. Yeah. It very much is. It's kind of like digging through all the nonsense that's in the music world. And I've been seeing it pop up a lot. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, man. Kendrick Lamar is probably one of my favorite mainstream artists that's out right now. Just because he kind of low-key mixes in that real message with what the young kids are listening to nowadays. Yeah. Like, he throws in a bar or two where the young kids are like, "Oh, that shit's hard as fuck, man." But then he throws in that depth. He throws in that shit that lies behind your eyes thing,
Yeah. Which is good, but the thing with Kendrick is he'll always sound like him. It's never Kendrick Lamar's like, oh, this is Kendrick Lamar, like, succumbing to the new age. It's like, no, this is Kendrick Lamar turning the new age into his own shit. And that's the difference. Right. That's the difference. That's what you got to go for. Like, you can't... And I get it. Like, we all know the music game is hard. You got to find it. You got to pick and choose. You got to take some shots. You got to take some risks. But don't lose yourself.
There's a certain formula.
Yeah.
There's a formula that you have to find. And I think a lot of artists go through about 4 or 5 projects before they actually sit down and they find that sound.
Yeah,
not every artist has a Dr. Dre that picks them up at a shelter battle and puts them on and just automatically makes them fire, and all they need is their lyrics. Sometimes nowadays, especially, man, people are not willing to invest in somebody just because they don't believe that what they got is real, or they don't believe that it's more like a crabs in the bucket type deal, where if this guy's making it cool, but I don't want him to make it farther than I've already made it. I want him to shine, but I don't want him to outshine me.
Yeah.
And especially in this area, man, I don't know if you know a lot about Alabama's music scene, especially the central Alabama music scene. Montgomery is one of the most dangerous places to do music, just because everybody's doing music, and pretty much, I would say about 30 to 40% of the entire music scene around here is actually saying something, is actually putting out fire shit.
You got any beef tracks?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh well, you need to forward some of those to us. We live for that shit.
Okay.
You take you clap at us. You clap at us yet?
Oh no! I haven't knocked nuts yet, man.
Oh, you
I really
can't.
haven't.
Johnny raps. So I mean,
I actually had to deal with two people that clapped at the page, so I gave them a little bit of an ass whooping. I'm waiting for their return.
I actually saw that shit, man. The one guy that was complaining about how he got a bad review because he knew his shit was fire or whatever. He's like, "Well, you submitted, bro. Like,
yeah.
Didn't nobody tell you to submit your music?
Yeah, know? That's what we hate, man. People will like
and
submit
I knew what
some
I was
shit and
getting
cry
into.
about it.
I knew what I was getting into whenever I went into it. You know, like I'm not gonna lash out whenever I knew what to expect if you guys didn't like shit. You know, and it's not like it's not like I expected everybody in the world to enjoy what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
you can't expect everybody to like you.
And it's not like, and that's why I try to tell. I'm like, bro, you submit at your own risk, but like we don't know any, like half of the people that fucking submit, so we don't have any reason to hate or on some. We're just blatantly like, hey, if a stranger handed us a CD and was like, yo, listen to this, we will throw out a review of exactly how we feel. We don't know who the fuck the music's from. We don't care. Like, we're just trying to review it exactly how we feel in that moment. This is what your CD put us in when we listen to it, and that's it. Like, and people don't get that. They like to cry and bitch and all that shit, and it's like, bro, nobody cares about you. Like,
you know, it's like if you have a reason to bitch, you're obviously not where you need to be in your career anyway.
Have some confidence in your shit. If you get a red stamp, wear that shit. Like,
you're to the point. If you're to the point where you have to be sad because somebody doesn't like your shit, then you're not ready yet. Like, you have to be prepared for somebody to dislike you. You got to be prepared for somebody to hate on you.
And it could be for any reason. It could be for any fucking reason.
Right. It's like this. It's like this. I think OG Gray said. He said. Shit. What did he say? He said.
He has some gold on his.
He said, "I sound like the guy that sits in the bar." He says, "I sound like the white guy that sits in the bar and raps." Yeah. Says he can do a little something.
I did get the guy that raps at you in the party vibe. Just a little.
But yeah, when you listen to it.
It's funny that he said that, because at one point in time I was actually in a bar. I was actually in a bar and somebody asked me to put some of my music on, and they put it over the loudspeakers, and my album played. That same album that y'all listened to played in the speakers at the bar, and I was sitting there live on Facebook rapping my shit while it was playing. So I'm like, okay, yeah, he's in the game. He knows what he's talking about, you know.
OG's a wild man. OG's nice. He's on a nice little break now because he's working on his like passion project. So I can't wait to hear what he's putting together so I can give him a red stamp. But he's the man. So he's the man. No, but yeah, that's another thing too. Like, yeah, like even with these, like we'll never be like, no, don't ever submit shit again to it. Like, we don't care. But then we got the other side of the spectrum. I don't mean to call out my man, because I support this guy on the Instagram tip. But we got dudes like this dude Thaddeus, my man's, who this guy like clapped at us for one of our reviews, all this stuff, and then when his new album's coming out, he's like, I know you guys are gonna review it, I don't want you to review it, please, and this and that, but I know you're gonna. And he gave us all this shit, and then he got a green check and was like, yo, I really appreciate it. He's like liking everything on our page now, like he's like our best friend. I'm like, bro, don't do that. That's corny. Changed. Yeah, that's corny. Okay, bro.
So when his haters became his supporters, he started supporting his haters.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, that's mad corny, because it's like, yo, if it's that easy, yeah. If it's that easy, like some scumbaggy dude can easily manipulate him if it's like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, bro, like you could have an A&R who's like, yo, don't give this dude a deal, and then you could be like, yo, man, I like this shit, shoot me some money, and he's just milking you off of some bullshit because you just switched your energy. It's like, bro, have some integrity, bro. Like, you know, keep that energy. Don't tell us not to review it and then be hyped when we fucking review it. Like, cut it out, bro. Like, cut it out. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then won't come on for an interview.
Yeah, and then won't come on for an interview. No, but I guarantee you now, because he got that green check, I guarantee you now he's gonna be like, of course.
You think so?
Yeah.
You could just roast his ass in person.
Facts.
Thaddeus Goathead.
Yeah, facts.
There was actually a review that I read from an artist that I had heard of before y'all even reviewed him, and it was Derek Branch. He kind of falls into that XXX Tentacion type vibe. He dresses all weird, got a weird haircut.
Yeah.
He mainly like the way he promotes himself is he goes on live and just acts like the first thing I ever saw of him was he was playing his music and he was eating sunflower seeds out of an alarm clock.
What the fuck?
And he was just like saying crazy shit like "Say smarts, wake the fuck up," just saying weird shit. And I was just kind of like, as his music was playing, I'm like, his music's not really all that bad.
His music is sad boy shit. So we review his, in case you guys don't remember, his album cover was the picture of that like anime girl. It looked like Alita. It was just like an anime girl's face, but it was like the most sad boy, like it was the most like targeted sad boy. I want to be XXX Tentacion shit ever, and we were like, nah, we're not.
Right,
here for
exactly.
this.
Yeah. He was like the next XXX Tentacion.
Yeah, like he looks like him, like everything. Like he looks like the whole thing. Like it's weird.
Right.
Let's see.
The name sounds familiar.
He kind of looks like the slump.
Oh, I've seen him before.
He dresses in like Naruto type.
He's weird. He's a weirdo.
Clothing. I don't know how to explain it.
This was his.
He looks like what an anime character would look like if he were human.
Yeah,
he was wild weird, and we were like, "Nah, man." I'm like, I wasn't here for that, man. I like a certain type of sad boy shit. Like this isn't it.
Yeah,
this is this is pandering.
It's
not even really like. I wouldn't even call that a hip hop album. I would call it like. Hip
hop needs subgenres.
Pop hop.
He kind of falls into. It kind of feels like if John Legend did an album
disrespect John Legend.
I don't think that's,
let's say John Legend.
It's like John Legend with Down syndrome.
We'll say John Legend mixed with Lil Peep.
Yeah, okay. Down syndrome John Legend.
Go with that. It's kind of like he was heartfelt, but he was so fucking sad about his life.
Yeah. No, to me, the projects like this, though, like, I don't know. Usually I could tell if something's, like, genuine sad boy stuff, usually by the content of it, because you can tell if someone's actually sad or if someone's just writing sad stuff. And to me, this is hip hop pandering. This is like, oh man, how do I campaign to get
hip pandering?
Hip pandering, facts. This is that's a fact. Because it's like, yo, I'm trying to appeal to all these sad boy kids who wear neck collars. You know what I'm saying? Who wear these fucking like neck collars.
The thing about it is, there's a market for it.
Yeah,
there's a shit ton of people like that.
So that's what I hear when I hear this type of stuff, and I'm not here for it because it's like it's one thing to write like your real personal experiences and vent it all on paper, which is fine. And I know it may be weird to be like, oh, you can't say what didn't happen to someone or not, but it's like, fuck it, I can, because I can tell when something sounds fake or not. Like no one, if there's a certain amount of detail that comes from someone actually pouring their heart out on paper, and that's why people like Logic and other people like that get called out, like Joyner Lucas and them get called out for writing like stories, because we're like, no, you didn't experience any of that, because you can tell. So it's like, I'm not giving these people the benefit of the doubt. Like, this dude is an artist, so his job is to write something that moves you. So he already has to have a certain realm of imagination. So if he can't imagine like a fully detailed or even make up a detailed story that sounds realistic for you to grab, then he is pandering. Then he is literally, he has a goal, and that's what he's doing, and it's just to write the generic type shit. So it's like, it's offensive to me. It's like, give me that real. So I guess in a way, that's kind of what Grow Light does, but backwards. Like, the message is real, but the music is more catering to a certain demographic. Yeah.
Not necessarily pandering, but kind of just like, it's kind of like slick getting your foot in the door. Like you say you're on the list to this club and that you fit in with everybody, but you don't talk like everybody else does. Yeah. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, I get that, and that's I can put it that like in that realm, like, because it's kind of like infiltrating the mainstream, the mainstream message of, you know, sex, drugs, rock and roll, and death, all the good stuff. with speaking life. You know, that's what we as a team are trying to do, is to show people that there's a better way to live than what mainstream media feeds people, and a lot of people don't realize they're being brainwashed, but they are. Because you can't. If you grew up in a community, in a whole society that is brainwashed, you'll never know. Right. Exactly. But I mean, that's how it is. I feel like free thinkers have always been that way from the time they were young. You know, they never bought into what everybody else was doing. They were always
the kids at the weird table.
At, like, there's something about this little motherfucker that's weird, and I don't like it. But in it deep down, I feel like it's always because there's something inside that human being that all these other people see that they don't have, but they want it.
Yeah.
And
honestly, one of the best depictions of that's been around for a very long time, and people just think of it as like a funny thing. I think of South Park.
Yeah.
Anytime they see a group of kids that's like part of something, they immediately call them out like, oh, look at those hippies. Oh, look at those. You know what I'm saying? Because they were always the weird ones, but they were always the realistic ones. No matter how crazy their imagination was and all that extra shit, that's just what it is, you know?
Oh, fuck.
Walko hurt himself.
The cat just jumped. No, the cat jumped on me.
Nice. The cat's like, let me get on his camera. But, honestly, though, real shit, I think... You got your new age thing you got put out. Give us a passion piece, even if it's a fucking EP. Give us something that you want to fully listen to.
Oh, trust me, bro, it's coming, man.
Hey,
I've been sitting on a Kappa Carter project called "It's Me, But It Isn't Me" for about 2 years now, and I've been sitting on it because I've been sitting on it. It's new to the world. It's not new to me, but it's new to the world. But it's my story, but it's also something that I feel like I need to put out when it's ready. Like, okay. It's not quite there yet. You know, like, I'm still kind of stirring up the formula a little bit.
Don't let this be your detox.
Take things out.
Well, hey man, if you need some good mixing, mastering, or some solid ears or anything just to listen on the side before it gets that full on Not Your Man's review treatment, you could always reach out.
Okay, great.
It's part of our doing everything for free, and I regret it all the time formula, but but there's that. But no, don't feel free to reach out, man. That's another thing people forget. Like, we're here for the culture because we're a part of the culture, and that's just that. Right. So we're here. Like, my DMs are always a mess, but I reach out. Like, I got time.
Right. Okay. You know? Great. Yeah. That sounds good to me, man.
But yeah, man, other than that, man, tell people where to follow you, get all your plugs and going like that. I mean, we don't want to hold you all night, so yeah, get your plugs going.
All right, it's all good, man. So Facebook is, Kappa Carter 334, Instagram Kappa Carter 334, Twitter Kappa Carter 334.
Perfect, that's just right. Own your labels.
Yeah, Kappa Carter 334. You can also look up Grow House Studios on Facebook and find the group page there. You can also look up Fresh Veggies on Facebook there. Everything I do on Instagram is automatically plugged into my Twitter and my Facebook pages. So everything's pretty much interlinked. Right now, Instagram is where it's at. So, Kappa Carter 334, man, and you'll look up. You'll see. You'll see a lot of information about Grow House, Fresh Veggies. You'll see Shaman P there. You'll see several of my other artists, Jay Timely, Young 808. Pretty much anything that you want to know about what I'm doing or where I'm at or what's coming out. You just look up at Kappa Carter 334 on Instagram, and it'll give you everything, man.
All right, no doubt, man. Yo, we truly appreciate you chopping it up with us. And yeah, that's that. I'm going to end the video and all that here. And just one thing that I always mention. So I'm probably going to do this one this upcoming Wednesday. So okay. To help with the promo and stuff like that, if you can shoot me like seven clips with like your music and maybe some videos for me to promote on the Instagram, send them my way.
Okay.
And if you have a certain picture you want us to use for like the episode art, you can send it my way. If not, I'll just find one. But send me those clips and whenever you can, as long as it's before Wednesday. And then Wednesday this is going to be out. We put it on all of our stuff and we just blast you for a whole week.
Okay. All right, great. Well, I'll get you. I'll get you guys laced up with all my material, and kind of send me a message and let me know.
Of course.
All I need to send you, and I'll have it ready for you before Wednesday.
All right, bet. All right, man. Yo, we appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, no doubt.
became blood red. Star fell from the sky like nuclear war. Heaven received like a scroll, being rolled up. Every mile removed, island replaced. Got a mole hiding in caves, hiding from God, ashamed of his face. For the great day of the wrath that's come, who can withstand it? For angels standing, four corners of the earth, holding back four winds from blowing, land, sea, and tree. Fifth angel coming from the east with a seal of the living God, calling out with a loud voice to the four angels, don't harm them, land, sea, and trees, until 144,000 sealed, speaking the truth that shall be revealed, dressed up in the white